Let's start with your entrepreneurial journey. As you said, you have founded 3 companies into AI domain, and I would like you to tell other people how does it feel like, or what was your challenges when you worked on, let's say, your first startup or your second. What are the challenges you faced? How was your journey alongside?
I think challenges differs for each experience because people who work with you is always different. And also like it comes with a lot of challenges, a lot of learnings alongside it. But working in a startup means in general, when the things are messy, things are always messy in startups because
Yeah.
you are trying to build something that doesn't exist and you are trying to prove you are building something before there is certainty. So I think it's the most difficult challenge. Like you are trying to understand a real user problem, a real human problem. You are trying to understand the market. You are trying to understand your competitors. And after all of that, you build a solution around this and you are uncertain about many things. Like
Right.
everything comes to a little bit of judgment
Yeah.
of yourself. So I think that's the big challenge. And how I overcame, I think challenges are never gonna stop, first of all. And I don't really think like I overcame eventually, but I can tell a few things like how helped me to overcome those. So for example, people I work with, like some of them were really amazing and they were quite supportive. And when you have people around you that is super supportive, then it really, really helps you, makes you confident, and, just makes the environments like so cool that you really, really want to build this with them. So I think people and culture is really important in a startup, and also understanding the real user problems is quite challenging, but also important. Like you can't build things without having this understanding of your user. You need to go and you need to talk to them. You need to understand what are their pain points and how your solution is going to help them. You need to prove this first. So these are super, super helpful for me, like these mindsets.
That's right. This sounds too complicated for anyone who wants to start like their own startup for the very first time. But let's say if I'm building my own startup, what advice would you have for me? Because there's always a lot of uncertainties, of course,
Exactly.
and then there's so many things I don't know now that I'm going to know later once I'm going to start the business. There might be technical side, there might be a lot of resources that I might need investors, etc., etc. What advice would you have for someone like me who wants to start their own business?
I think the most important thing I would say is not starting from a solution perspective, like not starting from an idea, but starting from understanding the real problem that you want to solve and defining why you are the one who should be solving this problem.
Right.
So that is what I would say. It's the biggest, I think it's the most important thing that you should start thinking about it first.
Yeah, so according to you, it's more like it should come from yourself. It's not like, okay, there's some problem that someone else is facing and you want to solve it. You won't be able to solve it unless you have faced the same situation. That's how you come up with the real idea instead of out of someone else's experience. Is that right?
I mean, that is my experience so far. I can say definitely, because I do work better if I have a better understanding of the product that I am building. So the work I've done in the past, I could emphasize the the product I worked in the past,
Yeah.
I could be able to empathize with users. So either you should have a, I think, great sense of product sense, you know, and maybe user empathy if you haven't faced that problem. But if you can really understand the real pain points, then you might be able to solve that problem. But what I'm saying is that you have likely to solve the problem that you've experienced by yourself.
Yeah.
Yes. I think that's definitely, and if you experience that problem, I think what I'm seeing generally is that founders are passionate about this. So
Right.
I think in startups, you need to be resilient.
Yeah.
So I think it's important as much as your skills, your, experiences and everything. So
Yeah.
being resilient means also you need, I think you need to be passionate about what you are solving. So I think that also comes with that as well.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, very insightful, because as you said, like, you won't be passionate for somebody else's problem. You'll be passionate for something you actually believe in, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I believe.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually right, because I did try to work on so one of my friend, he was very excited about a project that he had, and he wants me to work with him. So I did got included, but I didn't have that passion in me that he had it. And I'm always like, can I do it later for you? Or like, he's like, no, we need to do it, man. And he's always pushing me to the edge. Okay, we need to do it. I said, I know, I want to do it, but there's no time, because I'm not that passionate about it. If I'm passionate about it, I'm going to make time for it. Right. If I actually want to do it, then I will make time for it.
Exactly.
But then always have excuses. That's why I said, like, it's good if you're passionate about it, you're going to do it. Doesn't matter what's the obstacles you're going to face.
Yes, because you gotta be like self-starter.
That's right.
You need to find your, in your values, like it needs to match with those as well. Like what you value in your life, because that's always tied to the things that you are also passionate about. So what you value, what you are passionate about, like, if you are starting a new business, I do think like there are really, really important aspects to consider. You need to find that problem. If it comes with lived experience, then I believe that you are the right person who needs to solve this problem, not anyone else. Because also ideas matters, but execution matters a lot. And like you said, you said, like, if you weren't able to execute on those like great ideas, then there is no business, there is no revenue, there is no customer around that. So which is not a business at all.
Definitely. I totally agree with you on that. Also, like, so we're talking about startups, and I have seen on your LinkedIn profile, you're also talking about scale ups. Would you be able to tell me a difference between startup and scale up?
Yes, I think it's a very good question. So startups, so they are still trying to prove the product that they are building. They are trying to prove the market fit, and they are maybe a business model. Like they are still trying to figure out things. But scale-ups, so which means like they have already enough proof that their solution is working for their customers, and now they can, go into the next phase, which is growth and expansion. So that's the difference. Like after product market fit and after like certain revenues, then these type of companies.
From your point of understanding,
exactly.
Yeah, I get it. So basically, I mean, I'm just trying to understand what you said. So startups are the ones that they're actually trying to make a market for themselves, right? And scale ups are those who already made a market for themselves and they're trying to scale up their business.
Exactly. I think you explained better than me.
I basically repeated what you said. Yeah.
Thank
So yeah,
you.
that's great. You have startups in AI, and you have also had a working experience within the AI domain. Would you like
Yeah.
to tell me how AI is gonna like? So there is so many speculations about AI. Oh, AI is taking our jobs. AI is doing this. There's also positive and negative everything. But what's your intake on it? Like, because you have already worked on the industry, you know a little better than any of us.
So yeah, what I'm seeing currently is that AI is evolving like, fast, and but it is not like replacing our jobs overnight. So it's a process that we need to adapt ourselves to work with AI. So I think the main point is AI is redefining our jobs.
Okay.
So the way we work, we need to find how to leverage using AI,
Right.
how to make a better version of ourselves, and just go with it. Like, yes, they can be, AI can automate some workflows, but it can be also helpful to people that, sometimes we need to work on things that we just don't like much. And AI can automate those things, and we can do the fun parts. We can do the thinking, like strategic thinking, critical point of views, analytical thinking. Like these are like communication as well, empathy. These will stay. These will stay. So we just need to, position ourselves better in the age of AI.
That's right. So, I mean, I use AI for a lot of my, like, let's say, mundane task. For example, writing an email. I don't want to like go, oh, hope you are doing well, etc., etc. I mean, it's so boring. I mean, I know what I want to write, but it just takes so much time. I was like, okay, yeah, can you do that for me? And then I'm gonna just send it. So it saves me a lot of time. And then the things that I don't want to spend my time, right? So it's better I just leave it to the automated part. And as you said, I usually try to focus more on like strategic thinking and a critical part of it. But what about, like, say, if let's say I have a business plan or I have an idea and I don't have anybody else that I can discuss it with. Let's say I want to keep it a secret. And if I go with AI, I brainstorm with it. Okay, what do you think about this idea, etc., etc. There is one pattern that I've seen is more like every time you ask anything about anything to AI about yourself, it always comes positive. They never tell you the negative part of it. But then, how effective is it? Do you think, like, sharing anything with your AI? Because there is also a issue of your privacy, let's say, because every day there's a new information like, oh, this AI got so much data about yourself, they can sell it to the market. There's so many like points on it. What's your intake about like AI for a general public, let's say, knowing the business point of view?
I think, I mean, first
That's
of all,
a very long question, sorry about that.
Yes. So first of all, okay, I'm gonna answer what I remember from the question. So first of all, I think your friend keeps your secret better than AI, in my opinion.
Yes.
If you don't want to talk your idea with your friends, but if you're going to chat with AI, I'm not quite sure how this works because I also have some privacy issues. Like I don't, I feel like, it's not going to be a secret anymore. So that's the first thing that I would want to say. But there are some other settings I think you can also control when you are using AI. So you don't need to allow AI to train your data. So definitely, and it's, from my experience, if I remember correctly, it always comes with a tick. So you need to untick that box.
Okay.
So you need to be careful about that. And what was the other question?
So there was so many questions. I'm really sorry about such a long question because I was going with the flow of what I think about AI as well. So the second question was the privacy, and you already answered that. The first question is more about like how effective is, like, say, the brainstorming with it if I don't have anyone to discuss my
great.
idea?
So from my experience, so we have a lot of AI tools,
Yeah.
and some of them, I'm not gonna say, but some of them are better in ideation, like brainstorming. Some of them are better in writing and etc. So you can definitely find which one works for you better. It's just trying yourself and testing. So when it comes to brainstorming, I find it useful, definitely, because even if you say it comes with positive answers, so my experience is not exactly like that. The reason is that I think it's about prompts. The prompts that you give LLMs. So if you can be better at prompt writing, then you can have more balanced answers. So it's also something that we should work on. And there are a lot of courses and also free courses online. We can definitely be better at it. So prompt is good enough. Then at some extent we can have some other ideas or other opinions from LLMs as well.
So so in our last video as well, we talked about this. The thing you're talking about is prompt engineering, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So yeah, I had another thing related to it. So I have done the prompt engineering course after last podcast, because I want to know what is it and how does it work. And Shiva is right now, he's also working on it, one of our teammates. So the thing is, after this, I've seen a video where there was two friends. So they made a fictional situation. Let's say we had a fight. Okay. So now I went to AI. I told him, okay, I've been through this. My friend did this to me, etc., etc. Okay. Tell me, is my friend, is he a good friend? Is she a good friend? Etc., etc. Right. So we both went to AI with our own approach. We gave him exactly the same thing. So there is no data changes between the one you said, the one I said. It's just the name, the change of person. And the AI said in both situations, like, so the other AI will say, you're right. My AI say, I am right. It's literally the same situation. But, and this is after having the same prompt. So that's what I'm worried about. Like, because it always gives you the positive response. It's basically made for you, as they say, like, because you are the ones who's paying subscription for it. It's installed in your phone. So does it actually do it, or it's one of the rare cases that happens, because it's still evolutionary stage, right? What do you think about it?
Yeah, I don't really know the exact answer. It might does as well. But what I experience is that, so when I give prompts, I don't tell this is myself and this is the other person. So I do tend to, but I understand what you mean, because we are the users, so maybe this AI can be biased to us. So whenever I am like asking this kind of situation, I tend to say, this is person X, this is person Y. So who knows? Definitely.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's a bit complicated because we don't know what AI has in store for us in future. So it's just the start.
Yeah, definitely. But I also, and I also want to say, I do not tend to use AI in like personal situation, like no, in relationship situations. So I'm gonna say, I also try not to use AI when it comes to relationships. I think I have a better judgment on that relationship topic. Like I really, really do trust my own instincts. But I think it's definitely great if you do some, if you do some brainstorming around your work ideas and others. Definitely.
That's perfect. So it's more for, like, let's say, more, you use it for more professional work rather than your personal.
Exactly. Because we never know what it says. So I just don't want to use it that way.
What do you think about, like, say, the emotional side of like AI? Because of course it's a machine, of course, and it's basically works on all the data that we were provided it, right? So there was one book that I was reading recently with talk about emotional intelligence, and it was like, so there was a guy, he had a brain tumor, so they have to remove a certain part of his brain, and while they were doing it, they also removed a neuron that connects your brain to the emotion side of something. I exactly don't remember it. And then after that, that person, like the entire life is changed for that person because he stopped feeling emotions. He's more like AI because you have the critical thinking. You can think because there's no emotional side of things. So he's detached from any emotions. Do you think it's also the same with AI? Because as you said, you don't go with your personal stuff towards the AI. And that's how my question like came into being because you were talking about personal and professional life.
Yeah, I mean, I think AI can do like some sentiment analysis, like some
Right,
emotional
right.
analysis.
Yeah.
Because I do believe like it is also good to spot the patterns
Right.
when there is a change. But I do think that it's just for only one situation. So because relationships are complicated.
That's right.
So if a friend behaves you this way today, we don't know the whole relationship that you have with this your friends.
That's right.
Maybe for the past 10 years you are in a relationship and you did something in
Right.
I don't know
Yeah.
in the past. So we never know, and we are not able to tell AI exactly what happened, like
Right.
to ask some analysis. So that is the reason, like, because this topic is too complicated, like, because it's human, like we are messy. We don't even behave logically sometimes. It's just we behave emotionally, and we can't really
Definitely.
explain
Yeah.
sometimes our reasons, even to ourselves, even to our friends. So I'm thinking like how AI would help me on that. So that is the reason.
Perfect. Yeah. It's a bit complicated, to be honest. Yeah.
Exactly.
Let's say moving on to your personal side of things.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see, like,
Exciting.
so let's start with your background. So you studied industrial engineering back in Turkey, and then you moved to the UK for your master's degree in Bournemouth. How was your experience moving to UK, a completely different country, different background? What do you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it wasn't my first time in the UK,
Of
at
course, yeah.
least. The first time was when I was in university. I came to learn English
Right.
during my summertime. I was familiar a little
Right.
bit to culture, I would say,
Right.
but of course not that much. So moving from Turkey to the UK, I think it was a really, really big change in my life.
How was your experience when you moved from Turkey to London? So there is so many parts into it. You say there's an emotional part, leaving your family, coming abroad, starting your life, like literally from zero, and and about like you left your job, came here to study. There were so many uncertainties. Would you get a job? How would you survive, etc.? How was your experience during all of this?
Oh, wow. Yeah. So I think the first part, so being an international student for me, I think it was great because it was my first time, just, having lots of international
Yeah.
friends and learning their culture was so interesting to me. So I had such a great time in Bournemouth. So from Istanbul to Bournemouth. And it was a really, really big change because Istanbul also like is such a big, metropolitan city. And then moving to Bournemouth felt like, there's just not lots of people around here, not many people live in Bournemouth. So it was quiet.
Yeah.
And it was peaceful. At that time, I also needed some recharge because
Right.
I was also working in Istanbul. and it's been 5 years. So I definitely needed a break. So I'm saying, like, of course, I studied, but it felt like a break to me.
Right.
What I'm saying is that I do really like the university. And then moving to London after a year was another big change. Like, I think living abroad, it just comes with all of those different challenges and experiences in it. And London part, I would say, lots of ups and downs. I got a job in London, because that's why we moved from Bournemouth to London. But at that time, I had two options in front of myself. I had a fully funded PhD offer from Nottingham Trent University, and then I got a job offer from London. So it was a bit difficult for me at first, but at the end, it felt like, London is calling me. I felt like there were, I think, a lot more opportunities in London. So, and also a career that I wanted to build. That's why we moved to London. But things got complicated as well because the first job I had. So, okay, so I'm gonna say, how can I explain this? Yeah, just a second. Okay, so so we moved to London. And I got a product manager job over there. But then a lot of things happened. I needed to change my employer. I needed to find another job over time. I wanted to build my startup. I wanted to do a lot of things. But not everything went as planned. So my experience still is a bit like mixed of emotions. I think has a lot of different experiences, different emotions. But I really, really like the life that we are building in London right now. So I'm happy.
That sounds exciting. Very exciting. I mean, you're right. Living in a big city is very difficult because then, I mean, as you said, you moved from Turkey to Bournemouth, nice, quiet town, and then you moved back again to a place there's so much competition, there's so much going on every day. Also, like you talked about, like you said you got so many opportunities in London. What about the networking part? How do people network in there? How do you find networking events?
Exactly. So I think that is the biggest opportunity, definitely, I would say, because every day literally every day, you can find somewhere to network, to do some networking. You can definitely go to the tech events, AI events, product events. Like there are many communities in the UK, and also they are running some events in London. So when it comes to networking, I don't know if there is any better place than London in the UK. You have so many opportunities. Like you can be in the same room with people maybe who you would like to be in the future. So there are many opportunities.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, exactly. So I do go a lot of events that also helped me to build my network in the UK, because when I came here, we didn't know anybody. So I think it's like part of your career is it is part of the career that you would like to build, like comes from these networking relationships. Like if you do how to network people, if you know how to build relationship with people, then I think many doors would open to you.
So is there any like certain online platforms that you use, or there are like the communities that you join? How do you do it? If someone wants to, let's say, move to London and he wants to get involved in this networking opportunities, how can one person do it?
Yeah, there are many, I think, platforms and apps that you can use. Yeah, I think,
Can
name
you,
a few of
yeah,
them,
if you
right?
can name one or two
Okay,
of them.
so there is Luma, there is Eventbrite, there is Meetup that you can discover what's going
Right.
on in London. So if you can just type a few keywords, you know, if you can look at what's
Right.
interests
Yeah.
you, then you can find those communities, because most of the time the events are held by some communities. So when you go to their events, you also find the opportunity to talk with their founders, you know, their team members, and you can also learn more about, you know, getting involved in those communities as well. That
Right.
is like, some of them are really supportive.
Right.
So yeah, I would definitely recommend, if someone right now is looking for a job, I think networking, it plays a very big part, and also building relationships, building right relationships, I would say.
So you mentioned those apps like Meetup, Luma. Are these only like, say, restricted to London, or they are like everywhere across the world or in the UK? If you have any general idea of it.
I think, yeah, as I remember, I think you can change your location.
Right.
Probably,
Yeah.
yes.
So it's like, it's not restricted. Let's say it's not restricted to London, and you can also use it if you live in any other city. Is that right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. As far as I know, that's how it works. Yeah.
That's perfect. And as you were talking about networking and how it's going to help you to get a job, it reminds me of that you got sponsorship not just once or twice. You got it 3 times, and being personally, personally, I have worked a lot to get my first sponsorship, and that took me a really long time, takes a lot of hard work, and you did it 3 times. Would you like to tell us how was your experience getting the sponsorship 3 times? It's such a complicated thing to do.
First of all, I think it's not only a job search. So
Yeah.
it is a job search, I think, attached to your emotions at the same time. Like, you know, people can feel exhausted because rejections, like, nobody really likes rejections.
Right.
And sometimes it can demotivate you. Sometimes, you know, people can doubt yourself in ways that aren't fair or even like true.
Yeah.
And that was also my experience. But I also kept going. I think that was the difference. So even though I felt that way, I just didn't really stop. I just tried to make things happen, and you know, kept going what I was doing. And I would say I have a very good supportive people around me. So that is also really, really important to me. Like, I have my husband, my family, my friends, you know, everybody was with me alongside this journey. So that also made things easier for me. Like, when I doubt myself and my skills, and, you know, at least I had people around me who believed in me so much. Like, you know, I tend to also, I think it was very, very wrong, but I sometimes felt my identity was belonged to my job. And when I lost my job, I felt like, you know, not great.
I mean, it's very complicated, as you said. So like, let me just explain our viewers what I mean by sponsorship, just in case they don't know about it. So sponsorship is so when a foreigner comes to the UK to work, they need a special visa called skilled worker visa, sometime known as tier 2 visa. So it's a very difficult process to go with. So people needs to apply for jobs, then the employer needs to pay quite a lot of money to hire somebody, while they can actually hire someone who is a resident, and that helps a company to save their cost, their time, their efforts. But if they choose if they go for a sponsored role, it actually shows how competent you are to get a job in the UK, because the market is so competitive. Why would someone pay money for you if they can hire somebody which doesn't come with so much like the cost, right? So this is just a general overview for everybody who doesn't know what sponsorship is.
Yeah, you also reminded me something,
Yes.
from what you've said. So definitely you and people who are looking for sponsorships, they need a profile that makes the extra effort like feel worth it.
Right.
And what does it mean? It means what problems can you solve? Like how do you work?
Yeah.
And how can you prove your value clearly? So communication matters a lot, like a lot, because being talented is not enough if you can't explain yourself, if you can't explain your value clearly to employers.
Definitely.
So definitely like build a profile,
Yeah.
and show up the way that who you are,
Right.
and show your value to employers. That made a difference.
Definitely. So like as you said, so we like if anybody who's looking for a sponsorship in the UK, so they should build a profile. They should, because they know everybody is looking for the same job. Why would they choose you over the others? Because the you comes with certain disadvantages. How can you make yourself more competent that they will choose you over the others? Is that right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You need to understand the system first, like how sponsorship works, basically. You need to, that is what basically you've also explained, right? So they need to go beyond, and they need to put, like employers need to put an extra effort to hire you. So why would they do that?
Yes.
And definitely, I think we should be the ones who should also explain our values and our skills and experiences clearly to them, so that they can see the value to do that, to go with that process. So it's not that easy, but also it's not that difficult. It's just, I always say this, and I do want to say here as well, like timing and luck matters as much as your efforts. So that is what I would also tell people who ask.
If you have to give, like, let's say if someone's looking for a job in London, they need a sponsorship. What are the points that they should consider before applying for a job? Because I know a lot of people, I used to apply for like 10, 20 jobs on LinkedIn every day, instead of like actually going with one job and following up through. Or this is one thing, and then how can maybe they can build up their LinkedIn or any other points that they should showcase in order for the employers to find them valuable for their company.
I think people have different opinions on that, and this is just from my experience. So I was so strategic and intentional where I applied. So I tried to find the right opportunities for myself. And I really, really worked on how to position my background to this specific role, to this specific company, to this specific industry.
Right.
So before the application, I think I did a lot of effort, like applying online wasn't the first thing that I do while I was hunting jobs. So maybe because I do love going to the events and doing networking, it's just I felt like, oh no, I'm not looking for a job right now. It's just fun, you know, just go and chat with people, learn something. And then if it becomes a job opportunity later, then that's the big win. But if it doesn't happen, then I had a great time. So that was the mindset that I had. So I didn't really apply many jobs online, like yourself. I didn't do that. Like it was a bit, I don't know, maybe not my thing. And I do also believe that this style, this method is not really working anymore.
Right.
Like you definitely need to build this relationship, like one-to-one relationship with employers. You need to find them. You need to talk to them. You can do some cold outreach even on LinkedIn. You can message people. Like the worst thing could happen is that they just don't reply. And what do you lose? Nothing. So I think we need to consider which way works better for us.
Right.
And I do had I had a job like tracking tool.
Okay.
You know, these jobs, for example, I applied through online. These jobs, I don't know, find someone to talk to. These jobs, you know, I categorized everything. So that was how also I was being strategic. Like I didn't really send the same resume to every single application. I tailored them to the job role because you can't really use, your resume is your showcase, like is the document that you need to showcase your skills. It's not something that you list your experiences.
Right.
So you need to show your impact. I think this is also really, really important. You can't really list what was your responsibilities in that role, but you should definitely talk about your impact. Well, what did you achieve?
Right.
Yeah.
As you said, like it's more about showing why would they hire you instead of anybody else. You just showcase your values of how you gonna help that company or organization achieve their goal, and why would you be the right choice to do it instead of anybody else.
Exactly. And being confident while doing
so
that.
I'm just gonna try to summarize what you said for our viewers. So it's basically don't apply like random jobs. You select what you want to do, what jobs you like, what fits your profile.
Exactly.
And then next thing, let's say you find those jobs online is one option. You go to their website, try to find their contact information, tell them part of networking. You go on LinkedIn, and then you tailor your CV for specific jobs. And then after that, you follow the process. It's not gonna you won't be able to hit the bullseye every time. You have just a process that you keep doing it, and it will help you to improve. And hopefully at the end, you will be able to do it. But there's no secret ingredient of oh, you will get it 100%. No.
Not at all. But for sponsorships, from my experience, I find like startups and scale-ups are open to consider those candidates more than corporates, because corporates have their own rules. For example, sometimes they can't really sponsor like below the certain level of that role. But if the founder of a startup says, oh, okay, yes, I really like this guy and I want him to work with me. And like there is no other stakeholder who will make this decision. I think reaching out to decision maker in startups and scale-ups easier than
Yeah.
the corporates because they have like strict
Right.
roles and responsibilities. It's difficult to reach them.
So you mean like startups and scale up are more reachable compared to any big corporate giants?
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
I'm
that
saying.
makes sense. Uh, Also, let's so everybody talks about their achievements, how what have they done in life, etc., etc. Today we would like to talk about uh, your TEDx event. So you've applied for it, and unfortunately you didn't get the chance to speak on stage with them. Would you like to reflect a little bit on like what was the process? How did you take the failure by not being able to go on the stage and say what you really want to say?
Yeah, that's really nice. So, I think the process was easy. It was an online application form that just asks you a few questions around the topic that you would like to speak on the stage. And the team was so interesting to me. I think it just touched my heart. It was connected. So it was disconnected in a connected world.
Okay,
So
interesting.
so how you can feel disconnected while everything is connected. So this was really, really, I think, a great topic to talk about. And there were a few teams also under this main topic. And I applied to speak under the power of doing.
Okay.
So that was also really, really interesting because even today I'm speaking with you and you know how I am feeling really stressful. And this is a big, big, big challenge for me to do that. And it's my first time. And, even when I'm feeling like that, I went and applied for TEDx. And why would I do that? I was even so scared but if I was being selected, like what I was gonna do on that stage. So, but still, I did it. I did it anyway. I sent that application, and so what happened? So it didn't happen like you said, but also it wasn't my first failure, and it wasn't gonna be my last failure. So I knew that.
Yeah.
So I had many failures, many success, and it's just a journey. And without being a failure, you can't, I think, you can't improve yourselves and you can't succeed because you can learn a lot of things from your failures. But what I did also, okay, yes, I wasn't being selected, but still I went to that event and I watched people who got selected.
Yeah.
And while I was watching that TEDx, in the room with them, and I thought, oh, she's doing great. So yeah, I mean, I would also choose her, over myself. So that was what I was thinking. And I enjoyed my time during the whole, day, at the event. So yeah, I'm gonna, of course, try again next year, later, whenever it happens again. So that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's always the first step that matters, as you said. Because I mean, if you don't take the step, you don't know what's going to happen. If you fail, you fail. If you succeed, you succeed. It's fine. It's more about taking the first step, which you took by applying for the TEDx event. And as you said, and also that you didn't take the failure personal. You didn't like, I didn't get selected. I'm not going to even go to the event. Right? But you being more reflective on yourself. You went to the event, you see, oh, what's they actually doing? You reflecting on yourself. Okay, oh, she's doing really good. How can I improve myself by seeing other people? What are their topics? What are other people interested in? It shows like this is the outlook you should have on life. That's if you want to grow in life. And I
Thank
literally
you.
love this conversation. It's such an
Thank you so
it's a
much.
very thoughtful and honest conversation with you, and
Thank
I
you.
really loved it.
Me
Uh,
too. Same.
Before if we finish this podcast, I have like couple of questions for you. They're more like of a game.
Okay.
So let's see. Okay, imagine yourself in Turkey in your early 20s and being here in London right now. How do you see yourself? How would your younger self say to your future self about how was your experience? Would you still take the same decision coming to the UK? How scary was it?
That's
What do you think
interesting.
about it?
I think I do believe in fate, and I wouldn't really, change any decisions that I made, because I do think that it is, this makes me who I am today. All of those decisions shaped my life. I did a lot of mistakes. I tried a lot, I would say. Did mistakes, failed, succeed. But at the end, I discovered a little bit more about myself and what I really, really want to do in my life. So, I mean, I'm proud of myself. Yeah.
Me too. Me too. We're proud of what you have achieved. It's as I already told you, it wasn't easy to like move to a different country, start a new life, get sponsorships, start businesses. Sounds so hectic, and it's all of it within a span of 3 to 4 years.
Exactly.
It's way like it's too good for anybody to achieve. Well, we are very happy that you did it. I have another small question. What would you say, like, say, so every time you take a decision, everybody, including me, we always have two side of things. Like, either I fear of what gonna happen next, or either I'll be hopeful. Okay, like if I let's say there's always a fear part, and there's a part where you think, things gonna work out, things gonna work out. Your fear says no, it won't. If it didn't happen, what would you say someone who is in that situation? Like, because whenever take your first big step, you always overthink, shall I do it, shall I not do it? What would you
I
give?
mean, I was a big overthinker, first
Yeah.
of all, I would say. And I wasn't like that before. And my decision times were like too long because, I couldn't really decide
Yeah.
on things and take actions. But what I realized, if you somehow are able to detach your emotions from the decision itself, that would really help. So instead of thinking, just acting. Like if you start thinking, at least maybe you can write it down. Because when you write it down, when your thoughts are on paper, you can also zoom out yourself and, it's just observe your thoughts like you're somebody else.
Right.
And always, I think that what would you do if your friends would ask you this? So if you have that perspective, if you think of that way, what would you say your friends? Would you say, oh, don't do it, because this, or are you trying to be more supportive? So think yourself as your friend, because what I've discovered, I was always harsh on myself, but I was so supportive to my friends. But I wasn't doing the same. I think I wasn't showing that compassion to myself. That was I'm still trying to work on myself and, trying to improve some of those.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's more about, as you said, zoom out of the situation by taking a third person's perspective. It helps you to understand the situation a bit better.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I would As you said about the taking the first step, as I would before, this is one of my closing statement I would like to say to everybody. So the every first step start with you being curious about something, and that's the name of our channel. It's about curious you. So everything starts with curiosity. If anything you want is on the other side of curiosity. Thank you guys for being with us watching this episode. I would like to thank Shiva, who is on the other side of the camera. He organized everything for us. And Murat showing up here with Ozgod to give us moral support. Thank you guys. It's been such an honor to meet all of you today. It's such a good podcast. I had really good time today.
Exactly.
Thank you guys.
Yes. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.